Hey everybody, how's it going? I have quite a few things I want to show you in this video. I did a lot of trades and purchases from other YouTubers after I uploaded my last Games for Sale and Trade video. I have like 7 different people, their names written down, just so I can give a proper shout out to anyone that I got items from. A lot of this stuff is handheld related. Some of it I actually purchased from eBay or off of Nintendo Age, some pretty rare stuff, and I'm going to save that for the end of the video. First, I'm going to start off with a game I did a trade for with a young lady named Serena, and it is for a box copy of Bomberman Hero, and I'm trading like a Pokemon game, a Mario game, and I believe one other item, and this is in pretty good shape. The box is not crushed or anything. It comes with the manual in the game. The copy I had of the game, just card only, the label was sort of peeling up on the edges, so when she said that she had a complete in-box copy, I was pretty interested. And we're actually in the process of doing another trade. She has a boxed Donkey Kong 64. I have the game for that as well, but hey, you know, I'm trying to build my boxed N64 collection. I have more box games on the Super Nintendo and NES than I do on the N64, so I'd like to get some more. Next, I'm going to go in order of the way I have it written down the list. Scorpion Slayer 66. We did a trade. I trade him Zelda Spirit Tracks on the DS for a copy of Megaman Battle Network 2 on Game Boy Advance and the first Donkey Kong Country on Game Boy Advance. Both of those in really good shape, so thank you. Next, Edwin. We did a trade for a Pokemon Heart Gold, or not Heart Gold, I always want to say that. Just Pokemon Gold with the manual, and then either another Pokemon game or some cash. It's still in the process right now. For a really nice copy of Mega Man 2, complete in box. I mean, the box is almost brand new. There's not like a single ding or anything in it. So this is really, really good condition. Thank you very much, man. And that has all the paperwork and little plastic tray with the game in the little case. Everything was awesome with that. Next, Super Skull King 666. We did a trade, and I trade him Batman Arkham Asylum on the 360. I didn't write down all the actual trade items I did, so I'm trying to remember everything. And he sent me some game manuals. We got Metroid 2 Return of Samus. Really nice shape. A manual for Kirby's Dream Land. I actually had this one, but it was really rough. Like, it was all sort of ripped up on the edges, so I kind of wanted a nicer one of that. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. And a manual for Mega Man 2. And we did this, there's a manual in here. We did this trade before I knew I was going to do a trade for the box copy of Mega Man 2. So now I have an extra Mega Man 2 manual. But these 3 I'm happy to have and add to my collection. I'll probably trade this with Josh, because he's been collecting manuals recently, and I got a couple from him. Actually, they're sitting right here. I got a copy of Donkey Kong Land 2, and I think Donkey Kong Land 3 guide is behind it. Yeah, anyways, it's in there. I'm putting all my manuals in Ziploc bags now that I, can't easily put with a game, like Game Boy manuals. They just don't, sit easily with a game on the shelf. So I'm putting all my manuals. There's actually a bag up here also of some N64 and Super Nintendo manuals. I'm just trying to make sure they're protected from any little bugs or critters of any type. And he also sent me a package of Valiant comic book trading cards. That was pretty cool. That was just for free. Thank you, man. Next, I did a purchase from Clayton, and I got a very rare Super Nintendo game, Evo, Search for Eden. Very nice shape. Really no issues with the label, besides just normal, light lines and stuff on it. And then copies of Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 on the Game Boy Advance. And those are both in really nice shape too. Basically, he sold me all 3 for pretty much the price that Evo goes for on the lower end. So that was very nice. He gave me a decent little deal on those. And let's see, next, from Adam, I got, right here, Megaman. I purchased Megaman 4 which I'll open the case. Megaman 4 in really nice shape, and I don't know if you'll be able to really tell on camera, but if you've never seen this cover, it looks like Mega Man is humping Rush, his little doggy friend, and then there's like the robot behind him with like a weird wiener object on his head. It's just an odd picture. He's like standing right behind the dog, and then you got this other big dude with some like giant dildozer up on his head. Sort of a precarious picture. Sorry, I have a sick mind, I guess. And then Blaster Master Boy, also in very good condition. So thank you very much. Gave me a decent little deal on that. And last for shoutouts, Mark sent me, where is it? Oh, right there. As a, just sort of as a gift, because he says he doesn't really do Game Boy Color games, and he knew I was looking for a copy of Donkey Kong Country on Game Boy Color. I'm going to hook him up in the future with something, so thank you very much, Mark. That was very nice of you. I had sold him a Game Boy Advance SP, I believe, a while back, so he was pretty happy with the condition of that, so thank you, and I'm glad you're enjoying your Game Boy system. And that is it for shoutouts, but now a couple purchases that I did for some really rare stuff. First, I was really hesitant about buying a boxed copy because boxed copies of older games obviously are more expensive, and I really, would have been happy with just the game, but it seemed all the copies of the game currently that people were asking price-wise were like $100 or more, and I happened to find a boxed copy. Like, I think the highest card-only copy was like $150-something, what someone was asking. Like, they weren't actually selling for that, but I found a boxed copy on eBay, but then we ended up doing a transaction through Nintendo Age, and gave me a good solid price on it. It is a complete in-box copy of Ninja 5-0 on Game Boy Advance. The box is not perfect. I mean, it definitely has like shelf wear and scuffs on it, but it is not crushed or dented or torn, and it has all its paperwork inside. The manual is actually in a little plastic bag he put in. The manual is like super crisp. The card is in good shape. It's been used, but it's not peeling or anything like that. So I was happy to have this. This is a pretty damn rare Game Boy Advance game, especially for a complete in-box copy. I think this makes my rarest complete box copy of any Game Boy game. And then my final purchase I did. I normally don't buy lots off of eBay that have like one or two items that I want in it, and then I have all this extra stuff. I normally just try to buy the item I want, but in this case, it came with a few extra things that are very easy to trade or sell, and a sort of rarer handheld system. So I decided, you know what, there's 3 games in here I really want, and a couple of them are pretty expensive and hard to find, so I'll show you the stuff first in this lot that I don't plan on keeping, just sort of all the extra stuff that came with it, and then I'll save the games I wanted last. We have a copy of Pokemon Trading Card Game with a fairly rough label on it, but out of all the games, that was the only one that had any like damage to it. A saving copy of Pokemon Crystal version, a saving copy of Pokemon Yellow, Madden 2001 on the Game Boy Color, and a copy of Kirby Tilt and Tumble. And then there was some accessories. We have an actual Nintendo Link cable, which I have a bunch of like third-party ones, but this is the first Nintendo one I have now. And then we have a little light snap-on cover protector dealio. This has been like super glued back together. The guy told me about it, so I knew in advance, but it's still kind of cool. And a little cable that goes with that. And then this like little overlay for the buttons, the control buttons, so you have like, I guess, I don't know, higher up buttons, so it's easier to play for some people. Some people like the little enhancers that you can put on the like 360 controllers, PS3 controllers to make the analog sticks higher up. Basically same idea, here. They're called like first FPS freaks or something like that. And then the systems, we have a I'm not going to say the fucking correct name, I know I'm not, but it's a see-through purple Game Boy Color, and in good shape. I mean, the screen has some scuffs and wear to it, but no, like, gouges in it. And we have, this is the rare handheld that I mentioned. This is, I think it's Suya or Tetsuya. I didn't write it down, and I don't have it, like, on the screen right now. Water blue Game Boy Color, and this is like Japan only. So that is a, I wonder if it says on the back. No, I thought maybe the actual name was on the back. So this was is a harder to find Game Boy Color version with the yellow like buttons. And then just a Game Boy carrying case. A bunch of empty cases, which they'll go to use. I mean, I actually am one of the people that keep all my Game Boy games in cases like that. And then finally, the 3 games I wanted, out of all of them, the least rare, but the last one I needed to complete my Blaster Master game collection. Blaster Master Enemy Below, in really good shape. And then Megaman 5 on Game Boy Color in a really awesome condition. Label's really, really nice. And that one is definitely not a cheap one. And then the number one thing I wanted out of this whole collection, which is pretty much the reason why I bought it, was a very nice condition copy of Shantae. And this game is really expensive. And funny story, this came in the mail today. Yesterday, Josh called me from Video Game Sellers, Aaron's brother, and he said that someone about an hour's drive away from here was selling a Game Boy and 4 games, and one of them happened to be Shantae for like $40, and he was going to go get it. I have no idea if he did. He never called me back. But the curse of me getting a game and someone I know seeming to find it for cheaper, it always happens. But with this case, I basically paid a good amount for that lot. But I wanted these 3 games out of it. Basically, I paid for these 3 games in that sense for what I actually spent. And then all the other stuff was sort of free extra, which, I mean, to get a couple Pokemon games, a Kirby game, and a harder to find Game Boy Color out of it for essentially free is definitely not a bad deal. But I know my friend Frank is pretty interested in this. The screen on this one has light scratches also, but same with the other one. There's no gouges or anything. I mean, you can clearly see, what game you're playing. With no obstructions. But I know Frank was sort of interested in that, so we'll see. I'll see if he actually ends up wanting to buy it or not. Otherwise, some of that stuff will be for later. Now, like I mentioned, 95% of this stuff is stuff for my collection. It's not for sale or trade. Just a few of those, like Pokemon and Kirby game stuff, will, at some point in the future, not now, but some point in the future, will be for sale, maybe in a video. Otherwise, they're just going to go to the flea market this weekend. And I'm losing my voice. That's kind of weird. So that's it, guys. Tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do much Craigslist hunting, garage sailing. I have to go to the dentist. I think I have a cavity, and I have an appointment tomorrow morning, so that should be fun. Fuck getting games. I'd rather go get a cavity filled. That's it, guys. I will talk to you later. Please thumbs up the video if you enjoyed, and have a wonderful day. Peace.